Alright, people. So I'm here with a video on Christianity. And, before I get this video started, I'd like to say I do consider myself a Catholic. Um, and while I'm not praying to God 24/7. Um, I think when it comes down to God, I think that it's more important that you treat people with respect than maybe like they make a big deal about going to church and shit. They're like, oh, if you don't go to church, you're going to hell. I think it's much more important to treat people with respect. And like they make a big deal, oh, if you watch porn or you have premarital sex, or masturbate, oh, that's horrible. And truly, I don't really think those things are horrible. I think the things that are worse than that are insulting people and actually things that affect other people. So, I mean, from a Catholic standpoint, yeah, abusing sex is bad, but I don't think it's as bad as you know, just bullying people. Because again, bullying people actually affects people. Watching porn doesn't. It doesn't really affect anybody except yourself, I guess. But anyway, 10 questions for Christianity, and it's great to ask questions, by the way, guys. They encourage questions if you go to any religion class, and I know this from experience. They even say, they said asking questions is good about Christianity because they had named 3 reasons. One, God made us to ask questions. Questions are human, and one more that I forgot, but they even said the Bible verse where it says questions, question things and shit. And these are honest questions, by the way. This isn't to troll Christianity. I think Christianity is very corrupted by the Pope, and not necessarily the Pope, but it's been made into like a corporation almost. And I think a lot of the things that come out of the Catholic Church are kind of just meant to make money. They're like, oh, you got to go to church. Why? To make themselves money. And they make these big fucking churches that are just these majestic. They're beautiful, but why? Why do you need to spend thousands and millions of dollars on these big fucking churches? We just need something basic. It doesn't matter if you have these big churches to worship in. It's about respecting God and praying to God. It's not about building who can build the nicest and biggest church. So I guess that's a bonus question there. Why do we need these big majestic churches to worship in? But anyway, let's get this started. Number 1, who created God? Who made God? How did God come about? How did, and again, I think a lot of these things are kind of a mystery, when it comes down to it. Like, nobody can definitive, fuck that word. Nobody can 100% prove that who made us or how we got here. So I think, again, a lot of these things are just mysteries. But really, who created God? How did God come about? Again, just an honest question. Number 2, the Old Testament. They say, and I learned this too, they say the Old Testament is about writers who were supposedly communicating with God and came up with the stories and wrote them down. So again, the Old Testament can be very, very inaccurate, maybe. Like, people talk about Adam and Eve like that's fact, like that happened, when it might have never have happened, or it could have happened, but it could have been, the details of the story could have been different. So, I mean, the Old Testament can be very, you don't really know if that's fact or not, and a lot of maybe these people could just be frauds who just lied. So you never fucking know, really, with the Old Testament. I think the New Testament is more accurate, because it's actually kind of written history, I think, more than the Old Testament, which is just, these Bible writers supposedly were inspired by God to write the stories. Number 3, why is it okay for God to break his own commandments? If you watched or if you read the just basic Bible, they talk about, God opening the Red Sea and then closing it and killing all those people. They talk about God doing the flood. So, I mean, God kills all these people, or supposedly makes this big flood to kill everybody, closes the Red Sea to kill everybody, but that's okay. I just don't get it. He makes up commandments, but supposedly he doesn't have to follow them. It's just an honest question. I kind of just wonder about that. Like, why did God kill those people? Like, and again, those are from the Old Testament, so I mean, those stories could be not true, but they talk about them a lot, and people don't seem to, they seem to say that's a good thing. But why is that a good thing? Those people died. And just, again, this is a Catholic point of view, just because they're bad doesn't mean they deserve to die. Number 4, they say the Pope is infallible, meaning whatever he says is fact. That's bullshit. That is 100% bullshit right there. No, whatever the Pope says is not infallible. It's not fact. I learned that in religion class. They're like, the Pope is infallible. His word is fact. Whatever he says is correct. No. That's not how it works. Number 5. I hate how they always say, yeah, you're a sinner. You're a sinner. They always dwell on the fact you're a sinner. You gotta go and I believe you have to go reconcile your sins. You should be sorry for your sins and you should be forgiven. But come on, I think at heart they always say, oh, you're so bad. Christians are bad. They always kind of say, oh, you're sinners. It's like, yeah, we fuck up every once in a while, but it's not like we're serial killers or something like that. I think at heart most people are really good people and really caring people. And a lot of these quote-unquote bad things that we do are only things that affect ourselves for the most part. You know, whether it be drugs or alcohol, which I don't do those, but I'm just saying a lot of these sins that they say, oh, you're so bad if you do that, like the sexual sins, they only really affect yourself. And again, I think most people are just very caring towards other people. There's a lot of people who give to charity. There's a lot of people who care for the poor, and there's a lot of people that care for their family and friends. Number 6, the universe. The universe is just a big fucking mind-blowing mystery to me. Like, I look up at the stars and you think, holy shit, that star is so far away. You know, it just blows your mind, really, to look up at the universe and just look up at the universe for a few minutes and really think. You know, when I go up north, hopefully I remember, you know, I just want to kind of sit out on the dock where we stay every year. It's really clear because there's like no lights around. Just look up at the stars and say, look at all these fucking stars. This is fucking amazing. Because I haven't really done that. And I think the universe is just, again, it's just like a giant mystery to me. Like, does it ever end? Like, can I just keep, like, is there like a wall where it ends? But then again, even if there's a wall where it ends, what's behind the wall? How does it end? Like, wow, it's just so mind-blowing. Like, the universe and how was it created? They say the Big Bang Theory. But what was here before the Big Bang Theory? They're like, nothing was here. So it's like, I don't know. It's just a big fucking mystery to me. Number 7, why can't priests get married? They teach us in class, there's 4 lifestyles of a Christian. Married, single, ordained, or religious. So why can't a priest get married? They're like, oh, if a priest, you know, he's supposed to have a devotion to God. Why can't he have a family? Why? I just don't get it. Why can't he have a family? Why can't he get married? What's wrong with that? I don't see what's wrong with loving a woman and getting married. And they don't have any girl priests either. Why? Why can't a girl become a priest? I don't get it. I don't get where they're coming from there. So, in this, I think this produces a lot of priests who become child rapists because they don't have any women to get busy with, for lack of a better term, to have sex with, I guess, or to just enjoy the company of a woman. Not just have sex with, but just to enjoy the company of them, raise children together. They just say, oh yeah, just be on your own for the rest of your life. I mean, I think that's pretty hard, especially if you don't want to be on your own. Number 8. They always say God talks to you and shit. I've tried, seriously. I pray to God. I seriously try, but I don't really feel God talking to me. I mean, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or maybe he hasn't talked to me yet, but I don't really feel God talking to me, and that's no way. I'm not trying to insult Christianity. Maybe I will feel it. Maybe I have to try harder. Maybe I have to pray more. But I seriously don't feel God talking to me that much. Not really at all. Um, so I don't know. There's times where I feel like that's God. That was God. But there's other times I'm trying to communicate with Him, and I'm not feeling anything. There's no sinkage here. So I don't know. Number 9. Why am I punished for Adam and Eve's sin? That we say, oh yeah, original sin. I actually made a poster here in religion class. Here, the 6 consequences of original sin. One of them is, actually all of them I guess tie in, but I mean, so this is what we get, people. We get original justice is gone, which is, I don't fucking know. It's kind of I think it's the harmony we had with God. So I can't live forever now. Immortality is gone. Sickness. Now we get sick, but thank God I have some colloidal silver in case I get sick. Loss of a strong will. Intellect, which means I'm not that smart, I don't think. Although I think I am pretty damn smart. And concupiscence, which means I have a tendency to sin. So again, why am I punished for Adam and Eve's sins? Why do I have the lasting effects of Adam and Eve's sin? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why am I punished for something some people did when the world was created? I don't get that. And number 10, this is more for the Christians out there that are like, oh, we want gay marriage banned. I don't get it. Because God would want everybody to be treated equally. Like, what would Jesus do? Would Jesus say you can't get married? Would Jesus say you can't have equal rights? Would Jesus do that? I don't think so. I think Jesus would be respectful towards all people. And while I think the church would discourage people from doing that, I don't think they would, like excommunicate somebody from the church or from getting gay marriage or getting, married to or being gay. I just don't think it's the right way to go by saying, oh, you're, like you can't be part of the church or gay marriage should be illegal because there's supposedly something wrong with it. It's like everybody does wrong shit. Everybody fucks up. Just because you had premarital sex, should you be banned from the church? That's how I view gay marriage. The same way I view premarital sex. People, you have your, you could believe that premarital sex is fine and 100% okay, or you could take the Christian view and say, or the religious view, I guess, and say, sex should be done only for reproductive purposes. It's fine, whichever way you take, but you better say that both things should be legal, because that's called a free society. So, I think Jesus would have equal rights for all, and I guess it's all right. I don't fucking know, but I think even if somebody is gay, we should still welcome them into the church. It should still be welcoming of them, because that's what Jesus would do. He would be welcoming of every single person, no matter what they did, into the church. So I think it's kind of a fraud to just be against gay marriage and say it should be illegal, and to really have problems with people who are gay. Because everybody sins, everybody has their wrongdoings, and I think being gay isn't that big of a wrongdoing. I think being mean towards other people, not being caring, is much more of a wrongdoing than being gay. Because again, being gay doesn't affect anybody else except yourself. Is it wrong? You could think it's wrong, but I don't see that much of being wrong by getting married to a gay person. Because in the Bible it says, yes, a marriage should be between a woman and a man. But does it ever say that marriage should not be between a man and a man? Does it say that a man and a man should not be together? Does it really demonize that word for word? So again, you never know what God intended. And again, God created these people too. God created people, and these people are attracted to gay people, or to men. So again, I think it's kind of a hypocritical stance to say, oh, gay marriage should be illegal, or all these people are just bad and shit. So I don't agree with that. And I really have a difference of opinion with all these people who are against gay marriage and against legalizing it. So there you go, people. There's your 10 questions for Christianity. And if you have an answer for any of them, comment them below. I would be more than happy to read through your answers. And if you have any questions individually, comment them below, because I'm always, I'm always seeking more information about the topic I'm talking about. So there you go, people.